Hello and welcome to another episode of Weird But True Stories. I'm here with my friend ProboX, who was corroborating my first episode of the stories. Because a few people did question the accuracy of the story, and he did jump in to confirm it.
Yeah, it's 100% accurate. Everything that he said, it's true.
So, I was going to make it just one episode, but we did get to talking after the first episode. We were talking about a particular person that we both worked with, and he made a good case for me to do another episode of this, and I tried to, but it's a two-man job because it's definitely a two-man job. It's not an easy one to tackle, but thankfully he's here with me today.
I think two men would be dead after this story.
Yes, well, there is a very likelihood that we may die covering this. It's a story that needs to be told, so we're going to tell it to you today. It's about an individual who both myself, we won't go any further because there's the vultures out there, but both him and myself worked with, this person was very, he had a very unique outlook on life, to say the least. So I met him when I started this job because he was friends with this person. I believe you're friends with him in high school.
Yeah, I knew him for a few years before, and I just happened to bump into him at this place that we were working. I'm like, oh yeah, it's good to see you, man. So yeah, and
so he did warn me about him the first day that I met him through Probo, and he said that this person could he was had a rather short fuse. He said you be careful because you don't want to make this guy angry. He will cut the base of the tree there, right at the bottom. Don't make him angry. And I thought, at the time, I didn't think anything of it. But it wasn't until about a month after that I was actually working in the same building as him, and I met another person who I became friends with. I was working in IT support at the time, and I became friends with this person. And he had a bit of a reputation for practical jokes. So he would do things like put sticky tape people's desks, and one day he added sanitary napkins all over someone's desk. He did all sorts of crazy stuff, which it didn't really matter. To me, I just kind of shrugged it off as a bit of a laugh, but
as you do.
It was a practical joke, but unfortunately, as I found out, this person didn't find it very funny, and it wasn't so much the fact that he didn't find it funny; it was his insane reaction to it that kind of makes the start of our story. So.
And that's the thing about him. He goes from 0 to 100. He's either okay with you, or he's just totally you're on my dead list, pretty much.
Yeah. And I guess we should mention, that's a good point, Probo. He would become ridiculously angry at the slightest thing. He had the shortest fuse of any person I'd ever met, and basically. There was a few times when I said something he wasn't happy about, and he would want blood. He just went completely off his tree, and he was just one of those people. But on this day, this person went. Sorry, man, and he got a feather duster. Yeah, just a regular feather duster, and he tapped him on the head with this feather duster. So barely touched him, just tapped. And we just, he wasn't happy about it, and we all laughed, and we kind of thought that was the end of it. But unfortunately, that wasn't the end of it. He had the most insane reaction to being touched by a feather duster that we were just stunned by, because he basically
Or wasn't it even like a brand new one? It was like out of the box, pretty much. It wasn't dusty or anything.
And no, that's a very good point. So it wasn't that we got a filthy feather duster and he completely covered him in dirt. It was a brand new feather duster, and he completely went off his tree at him because of this, and he wanted to get him fired. So he went to HR with the expectation that and the story that he'd been assaulted, and of course we tried to discourage him of the fact, saying that you're just going to get laughed out of the building if you try and make out that someone's assaulted you with a feather duster. But, and I guess you're hearing this for the first time too, Probo, but he is deadly serious. He wanted blood. He had this feather duster, and he acted as though he'd been shot. And basically, after this happened, he went over to HR and he had a meeting, and unfortunately, they obviously needed a witness to what had happened, and unfortunately, that was me. And unfortunately, I had to explain to them, what had happened. Their reaction was one, of what you would think. They were incredulous. They couldn't understand why someone would want to, get someone fired over something so stupid. But sure enough, they basically told him, that there wasn't anything they could do. They can't get someone fired. It's crazy. It's not assault. And he wasn't happy, and he wasn't happy at me for a very long time because he thought that I'd somehow I turned on him and I hadn't supported him. But I didn't want anything of this. I didn't want some guy getting fired because he had a hissy fit. And
well, was it a colourful duster, or was it what colour was it?
It was just a regular feather duster. There was nothing. It was brand new. He pulled it out of the box. So, if it was something filthy, I would have kind of understood. But it wasn't. It was just an ordinary duster, for Christ's sake. But anyway, we're kind of moving on from that. He decided he wanted to take legal action, and this is where it got really friggin' weird. Because he wanted to go and seek legal action to basically get this, to sue him, and this is when it started getting really serious, because I was like, well, no, you really don't want to be going down that route.
No, of course not.
Because you're not going to have a case. What are you going to do? You can't claim that he's damaged you. It's a
Yeah, here's the proof. Here's the feather duster. He's happy with it.
Exhibit A, officer.
I think the handcuffs would hurt more, or the stray jacket taking him away. But anyway,
no, he was serious. He wanted blood. But look, that if that was it, if that was the only story, I wouldn't have bothered. That's just strange things happen. But this was just the first of many incidents.
Yeah.
So that was the end of it, and thankfully I don't know if he did pursue legal action, and if he did, obviously it didn't work. We'd better head back because it's dark. But but anyway, he moving on. I'd say 6 months went by, and then it was a Christmas party. And, Yeah. So the Christmas party, the three of us went there together, and to be honest, I think from memory the only reason why you and me went was because we knew that he was going to do a dummy spin. we just wanted to be there.
Of course, we want entertainment, a bit of drinks in us and stuff. So
and the thing is, if he had have been drunk, then I probably would have gone, well, we would have just chalked it up to him being drunk, right? But that wasn't the case. He was perfectly sober because he didn't drink. And on that day, he decided that he wanted to pick a fight.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
he told us he wanted to fight, and I think he wanted to fight us as well. But
I don't remember that part, but I remember him wanting to pick fights with just random people. It's really weird.
I don't know if he wanted to fight, but I think he did mention that but obviously despite him being a bit of an oddball, I didn't want to cause a fight, so we just went along, and he decided to pick a fight with the biggest person there. So there was a guy there who was he was one of the designers, and he was a big guy, built like a brick shithouse. This guy, he was the biggest guy, someone you wouldn't want to pick a fight with.
Yeah.
So he decided he's right. That's it. Let's do this. Oops, sorry, you go. And he gets there, and sure enough, he picks his fight, and the guy he's gonna smash him, and thankfully, I wouldn't say I was friends with this guy, but we were acquaintances. So, I managed to say, look, he doesn't know what he's doing. He wasn't drunk, but that was our excuse, basically.
Yeah. Well, that's right. He doesn't know what he's doing. We'll just say he's drunk, but he's not really. But
well, I mean, it was either that or watch him get the shit beat.
Yeah.
That was pretty much what was going to happen. He was getting a beat down in the worst possible way. But he picked a fight with this person, and basically I managed to speak to him. But me and Probo pulled him aside and said, "Look, he's a nut. Basically, don't."
He's a 4 foot nut. Don't forget.
Yeah.
Our friend's 4 foot, and this guy, he was pretty tall, wasn't he?
He'd be 6 feet.
Yeah, easy.
6'6", easy. This guy, he was a massive dude. Like I don't think the three of us could have taken him.
Nah, no way.
And he was big, this guy. But right or wrong, he wanted him. He wanted to take this guy out. He had no chance at all with.
It's like, as much as I wanted to see it, it's like it was a no contest.
Yeah, it would have been the shortest fight in history.
That's
it. But in any case, we managed to convince him, that it wasn't worth it. This other guy, and asked him to leave, and got our friend to leave, and that was the end of it. And we thought that was the end of it. But no, it wasn't. It got worse. He decided that he was going to go to the area where all the drunk people were.
That's right.
Mocking.
Far out. Yeah, that was really weird. Like, you just imagine like a cat or a cheetah. You know how they stalk their prey? That's what he was doing. He was actually creeping up to him. Like he'd find a drunk guy. Pretty much the drunk guy's unconscious. He would sneak up to him, just step by step. Yeah, still asleep. Step by step, and then he'd be on top of him and pointing, and he'd be like laughing and smiling. I'm like, what are you doing, man? It's like. It's like he's unconscious, but he's still going to kill you. And
it was every single person. Single person there. So we managed to get him out of there, and we thought that would be the end of it. But that wasn't the end of it. The best. I've saved the best story till last, the most disturbing one. So I'll probably say maybe 6 months again after that.
It would have been roughly that. Yeah.
We got an invitation to go to both Probos and my area both got an invitation to go to a LAN game. So obviously there's a gaming channel, so you know what I mean when I mean the LAN game. We're going to play multiplayer, Xbox. We're playing Halo, just that sort of stuff. So we went. We had to go down by a bus, by train, and he had a lot of money, so he didn't like going on trains, and he didn't I think he thought it was beneath him that he didn't like public transport.
It was either a stretch limo or nothing.
Yeah, so that was pretty much it. So he had to have everything in a certain way, but we finally managed to convince him to go on this public transport. We were going to a large town. And we were going to go and play games there. Now he he didn't like waiting, and we were at the end of our ride. We were just about ready to get off, and there was a bunch of people there. In particular, there was a young woman who was pregnant, and a very old man, very old.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the old man. Yeah.
So, look, there was others, but they were the two I remember because I remember being ashamed for a very long time about this.
I tear up from just laughing about it, but then I regret it immediately. It's like
at the time it was horrible.
Yeah.
And it was really, really, it was a terrible thing that he did. But when you look back at it, it's kind of you can laugh now, but it wasn't funny at the time.
No.
He decided that he wanted to get off. He didn't want to wait. He wanted to get off the train, and he wanted to get off now. And there were people in the way, so we were just don't worry about it. We'll get off at the next stop. Yeah. But that wasn't good enough for him. He decided that he was going to out of the train by any means necessary.
Sorry, I have to get in the house. I can't fight and listen.
He was going to get out of that place by any means necessary. So he pushed his way to the front of the bus. And when I mean pushed, the old man got shoved to the side, the pregnant woman got shoved into the other wall, and he just forced everybody out of the way, screaming, "Out of my way!" And people he didn't care, zero fucks given.
So you could imagine this 4-foot guy just ploughing his way through people like it's nothing.
And keep in mind, this woman was pregnant, so we're just horrified. We laugh at it now, but it could have gone a lot worse than what it did. And I don't think we'd be here laughing if it had if things had have gone differently. But he he pushed those people like they were ragdolls. And the old man went flying into the side, and the pregnant woman, she went like a sack of wheat, just thrown out of the way casually. And he turned, and we're at this point we're like, well, look, I don't want to go. I'm not pushing through those people.
Yeah,
I look at Probo, he looks at me, and we're thinking the same thing.
We're like, I remember the dumbfounded look on your face. You're like, I couldn't. You had that face of, I couldn't believe that just happened. It's like we're just seeing all these people getting off the floor, and he's disappeared. And
he's at the front of he's now at the front of the train.
Yeah,
and he turns around to us because we didn't want to follow him.
Yeah.
And he turns around and he goes, "Are you guys coming?" In this really impatient, kind of angry tone. We had dared to also inconvenience him. So, in any case,
and I remember after that as well, like we got off the train and we're walking down the street, and I remember you saying to him, "You realise what you just did, man?" And he's looking at us like, "What are you guys talking about?"
Yes.
And I remember you said, you just pushed over that pregnant lady. It's like, what are you doing? And I remember his response, cold, dead face, looking at us. "You guys are just pussies."
That's right, I remember. He had the gall to accuse us of being weak because we wouldn't attack a pregnant
I couldn't believe it. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at him. I'm like, are you serious, man? It's like, you're not a human being. It's like, I just don't understand.
The funniest part was he honestly did not know. He had no comprehension that he'd done anything wrong. That was perfectly normal.
That's a normal day for him, yeah? Yeah, so just push over a pregnant lady and that's it. There's your day. Far around.
But in any case, look, we thought that would be the end of it. But Unfortunately, with this person, that wasn't the end of it. we finally got to the game, and we were playing. And despite him having a lot of money and buying a lot of games, he didn't play them very often.
Yeah.
So
that's right. Yeah.
And he wasn't very good at games, and I don't think it was anything due to skill. I think he just didn't play that often. So he was losing. And when I say losing, keep in mind that we were playing a co-op game. so I tried to explain to him that it was a co-op game, and you can't lose a co-op game, right?
I'm sorry, man. Oh, far out.
But he was utterly enraged by this, that he had lost. And he basically flipped the table.
That's right.
He flipped the table, and everything was on it. So we were eating lunch, and everything up in the air. All of our food, the water.
Yeah, that's right, because I remember our host. He actually cooked like guacamole or something. That crap went everywhere.
Yep. He cooked guacamole, and at the time the host, he was a very nice guy.
Yeah.
He'd made us dinner, and he had drinks, and he'd put on a whole spread, and it was on this table, and he upends the whole table, flips it over, food, water, all the controllers, just everything all over the floor. And I believe his words was, "Fuck this shit, I'm going home."
That's right, we were just there for a couple of hours as well. And like,
we were there for 2 hours, I reckon, before this happened. And and of course, keep in mind that he was our ride home.
Yeah.
So, well, no, actually, no, we went on the
that's
train.
right, because we had to catch the train, but then after the train, like, he actually dropped us off at the train station. So
That's right. So if we had gone back, we wouldn't have had any means to leave. But we were stuck there. We had to clean up all the stuff on the ground, because of course he wouldn't clean it up. He's gone. He's out the door.
He's cleaned the pregnant lady. He's done his cleaning. So.
He's knocked the table over. Stuff's gone everywhere. He's cracked it. He's totally spat the dummy, and he's off. And we're left behind to to clean up the mess. But that basically happened. We ended up with having to clean up the mess, and we ended up having to go home in shame. We'd actually. I'll never forget the look of that old man and that woman. When we laugh about it now, but at the time it was not cool.
It makes you wonder, like, after the woman had their baby, it's like, sorry, son, that you've got a shorter arm. Something happened while I was on the train one day. That was unbelievable.
Absolutely no remorse.
No shame, no remorse.
No remorse at all. And I mean, we look at it now and we think, oh yeah, it's funny. But the problem was he had no. He didn't know that what he'd done was wrong. He thought that it was completely normal.
It's like, yeah, that's it. I'm the most powerful one on the train. Get out of my way or get stomped on. It's like,
and the thing that really astonished me was the fact that after we spoke to him about it, and he to this day, look, I haven't spoken to him in a very long time, but to this day he utterly believes what he did on the train was right.
Yeah. Yeah, you ask him and he's like, "What's the matter? What? Didn't do anything wrong." And you just can't say anything to him. You're just like, okay, should I do that next time? Like, I don't know. So,
well, see, in the end, we and he kind of he used to get himself in a lot of trouble with a lot of these things, because he'd piss people off. But I mean, I guess that's the end of the story for me. I can't think of anything else to really to really say about this person. I haven't seen him. The last I spoke to him, he was gone. I think he's gone overseas, but
yeah, he's probably stuck overseas in some Taiwanese jail cell or something.
I have no doubt that he would get himself into trouble, because there have been many times that we had gone somewhere with him, and if we hadn't have talked down people or tried to downplay the situation, I imagine he would have got a very sound beating.
Oh, definitely. Oh.
A very very sound beating, but yeah, it was. I guess that's the end of the story. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. we had a good laugh about the old times, and yeah, it was a bit of fun.
Oh, all right.
But yeah, that's it. Until next time, unless you have anything else to add, I think we kind of covered that pretty well.
Oh, I'm sure something will come up again later, but we'll save it for another time.
Yeah, we might do another video on some other crazy stories, but that was the main one, and I think that and the toilet was pretty much the main things that.
I found that funny when you were saying, like, everyone thought, you're insensitive. I was laughing. I'm like, that's crazy. Who does that?
I always found it hilarious that people were justifying that it was normal, and it seemed like I was taking crazy pills, because me and Probo seemed to be the only people that thought that was out of the ordinary. People thought, well, and like I said, every possible excuse for why that would happen was given. No, everyone thought that was normal.
Oh, that's crazy, man.
But in any case, hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time, we might have some more videos, but I think that's about it for now.
Yeah.
Thanks to my special guest, ProboX.
No, anytime.
Might see him in some future videos. Hopefully, some playthroughs. We might do a bit more Terraria, or play some Killing Floor or some other indie games.
That sounds good. But then again, like, if we're laughing like this, probably suck at playing games. But
I think we've done all right. Alrighty, Skill Incarnate out.
Later.